here with the beautiful Amy. Hello, Amy.
Hello, Karen.
And the wonderful James.
Hi, Karen.
Oh,
Hi, Amy.
James.
We want to talk about the rumble in the jungle. The rumble in the jungle. Amy, have a quick look at it, because Amy's just looked at it. James, what do you make of this then?
Well, it's like, I don't know what to make of it. It's like the mainstream media is calling out Facebook. And it's like, well, that's almost like telling the truth, because I mean, we all know how biased and how much they censor.
YouTube as well, I'm sorry, and YouTube.
Yes.
Yeah.
I just have to say this has nothing to do with this. We've just been to one of my posts, and what has it got on there? I'm talking about the fact people can't sing, and I've got a QAnon thing stuck all over it.
And it's nothing to do with it.
It's nothing to do with QAnon, YouTube. Nothing! They've gone mad. YouTube have gone mad.
Yes, they have.
As mad as Facebook. I hope that they destroy themselves. Really, I do. They deserve it. With the media.
It's in their nature. They probably will eventually. They turn on each other. I mean, the greatest sort of analogy is the Prince of Darkness don't get saved when their usefulness is over. In the Dracula film. So this is why I think you get they discard people and they're accepted, because it all seems to run on compromising politicians, buying them off.
So what do you think's going on then? Why are they going against each other? They all work for the same people. Doesn't matter whether it's the Australian papers or Facebook or YouTube. They all work for the same people.
Yeah. Oh, they're playing some silly game with each other.
Trying to make us believe that the Guardian, and don't forget the Daily Express, we've watched a couple of papers do it lately where they look like they're speaking out. We had the Channel 4 programme with the Queen showing it was all fake.
I know what it is. It's it's sort of to restore the public's faith in the mainstream media.
Yes.
It's also reinforcing that all social media is a lie. So.
Well, that's true, but on this one, I'd rather go with the press than Facebook, because we know what Facebook and YouTube are.
Yeah.
Yes.
They're
awful.
Something. What do you reckon, Amy?
Oh, well, I agree with James that it's like they're probably trying to establish more faith in the mainstream media, putting this out like, as if they would be on the people's side when they are part of it too.
Oh, yeah.
But
we know how they do it, don't we? Because Frank Rusciak went on the lawn and said, all the laws need to be changed. And they were.
Yeah.
So we all know how they play with each other.
Yeah.
Right. They all play with each other. That's right.
The entry level, apparently, for one particular secret society is a rolled up sort of trouser leg. So it's all about humiliation and things. And I just imagine the more, the sort of more degrees you go into this thing, the more humiliation they do on each other.
What does that mean? It says here, and said the company's decision to block all media content on its platform in Australia. So what does that mean? They've blanked out Australia?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't exist by the sense of it. So
does that mean that people like Trouble and that can't use Facebook, or is it just the media?
Well, I mean, that tells you something. When a US president gets removed, I mean, they even took down, I think it's the New York Times lost their Facebook page.
They did.
But they deserve it, and YouTube should have done it a long time ago, because they've all got deep fake on them, and YouTube are just promoting deep fakes.
Well,
yes.
Social media should not be trying to dictate to people politics.
Exactly.
If they were genuine, it should be a free and open discussion of showing all sides to everything. But of course, we know it isn't.
That's right.
It's all theatre. I mean, I've said before, like just look at a newspaper. They're written in columns because they are told stories. News is just classed as entertainment. It's not even real news. It's whatever sensational story they want to bombard the public with, just to keep them in confusion. I mean, it's order out of chaos, so they've got to create.
Does that mean that Australia are out of the gang?
No,
they can't be. They're all in it together, and they've allegiance to the Queen, so they can't be.
It's all part of their theatre show, isn't it?
Yes, theater. That's the thing.
It's got to be something going the whole time, hasn't it? This is why people, like James said, we had mad cow's disease here about 10 years ago, and a lot of people don't even remember it because I think they've seen such horrible headlines and so many stories they've forgotten because there's been so many horrible ones since.
Well, there's quite a famous postcard of a Royal Mail truck that was turned into a postcard in, I think, about 1910. And it was all sensation. It was big sort of news, but I mean, most people now, if you get a headline like 400 people have died in a plane crash, it's like the attitude is, oh well, it happens, because they bombard the public with negative
And they just become immune to it all, don't they?
Yeah, it's
25,000 people died in one year, out the other.
Yeah, it's all desensitizing people. I mean, I'm sure that a lot of this, I think they're not actually military. I think they're teenagers that think they're playing a game, and they don't realise that what they're actually doing is actually killing real people.
Support the Guardian from as little as £1. It only takes a minute, and that's in the middle of it. Oh, that's the Guardian paper, isn't it? The Guardian paper have done. Right, that's the end of the story. I'll just put it back out on the headlines.
Just look at the UK newspaper names. You've got the Sun, the Mirror, the Guardian, the Independent, the Daily Star, and I mean they're all sort of almost like alluding to mythological things in their titles. But
they just think we're stupid, don't they? I just want them to. I just love that if we woke up and they said the media have gone, Facebook's gone, YouTube's gone. I'd love. Someone told me they're taking. I think it was Scully. They're taking away Hangouts in March.
Oh really?
So we'll have to go to. Is it StreamYard? We'll have to go there and do it.
Try
wow!
Try various other platforms if it comes.
We can get away with doing some of them like we're doing now. So I get the person on Facebook, and then we'll just do it like we're doing now. But oh, like what is the matter with these people?
Well, what they're actually what they lack is.
Oh yeah, Facebook stopped Australian users from viewing news stories in a row over whether it should have to pay media companies for its content. What?
It's just ridiculous. I mean, the easiest way is just don't give them any attention at all. Wherever the attention goes, the energy flows. It's like
what a headline though, James.
They're not worth even. I mean, I wouldn't normally look at anything like that, and I thought, oh, this looks interesting. It's like, oh.
Yeah, but this is what was happening when I accidentally subbed to the Daily Mail, and every 5 minutes they were coming up, and in the end they were making me depressed because it's getting bad, it's getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and nothing's happening.
Well, I know.
And then do you know what today? Listen to this, Amy. I went to Floss needs her claws done, really. And I rang up. They said, well, because of this great big planedemic, they're not doing consultations for cutting nails and that, but they could see me as an emergency. I would get a consultation with the vet, and it would cost me £40 to get Floss's nails cut.
What do you want a consultation
Oh my God!
I said, I don't want a consultation. I know what the matter is. She just needs her nails cut. Oh, we're not doing that.
Oh my God!
Because we're in the middle of a great big planedemic.
A great big planedemic. That's right.
What a load of rubbish! Listen, you know the bit where it's got a causeway and an island? I just want the island. Just give me the island. I want to move away from everybody. They're all mad here.
They are. They're all mad. And
I think what it is, you know, when people said that we wouldn't be able to do things on YouTube, I think that's coming.
Well,
it probably is.
There's a
probably is coming.
There's a common theme with anything from this opposition side, and it's repeat, repeat, repeat. What they lack is imagination and creativity. All we need to do is think out of the box and find ways around these things. Because there'll always be another platform like YouTube, brand new Tube, BitChute, and that comes up, and then if they get hijacked by the advertisers, then there'll be another platform.
Yeah, I think there's one called.
Come on, listen out there, everybody. We need a platform that's not run by them.
Exactly.
Where we've got freedom to talk without all this insanity.
Yes.
Well, that's the sort of message that's being pushed with the illustrations on every shop window. It's basically gagging free speech.
Yes.
It's a sort of subliminal message being reinforced all the time. It's like that famous Joseph Goebbels quote, if a lie is told often enough, it becomes the truth, and that's what they're doing.
Exactly.
I can't get rid of it. I want to get rid of the ad. I can't get rid of it off. Is there any other headlines like that then, do you think?
I don't know.
We'll have a look. Hang on a second. We've got another headline up now. Oh, I don't know where the Guardian the header bar's gone. Oh, never mind. Australia's new news ban. What is social media giant up to now, and how will you be affected? Facebook blocks Australians from viewing or sharing news. Facebook's botched news ban hits health departments, charities. What the hell's going on? 1 second.
In respect to Facebook's actions today, Facebook was wrong. Facebook's actions were unnecessary. They were heavy-handed and they will damage its reputation here in Australia. Their decision to block Australians' access to government sites, be they about support through the pandemic, mental health, emergency services, the Bureau of Meteorology, were completely unrelated to the media code, which is yet to pass through the Senate. But what today's events do confirm for all Australians is the immense market power of these media digital giants. These digital giants loom very, very large in our economy and on the digital landscape. The Morrison government remains absolutely committed to legislating and implementing the code.
Yeah, so what do you make of that then, James? Amy?
I think they're playing that double game again, where they're sort of trying to restore faith in the mainstream media and discredit social media.
What, the Guardian, you mean?
No, well, I think that's they're involved in it. It's sort of because the sort of surveys that they've told us about are saying so few people are believing anything in the mainstream media. So this is probably a sort of an attempt to sort of look like they're doing good, which they never do.
Well, there's no one to write to, no one to go to.
No.
Amazing that they've managed to make all that news.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the biggest giveaways was when you had Donald Trump walk in front of the Queen, and then there was all this careful analysis and close-up photographs. They can do it when they want to.
Well, they didn't do it with Camilla. I told you she was walking in front of Biden. Her head was bigger because obviously we all know that she's waiting so impatiently for her turn to be president.
Yes.
She's a very wound-up woman. Come on, come on, come on, come on. She's like that. Come on, come on. Let's get through. Let's get through. You can see her doing it when she's there. She's she's all like this. She's waiting.
I know.
I don't know what to make of it. I love it. I love it in a way because it's about time the tables turned and the people won for a change. This is disgusting what they've done to us. I hope they all rot.
It's the whole lot, though. I mean, you put a video up and then you get a silly caption under the video. Often it's sort of a wiki sort of reference, and flat Earth is an archaic belief or whatever, which is not, because there's plenty of people who say the Earth is flat, but they have to put this misleading caption under every video when it suits them.
Yes.
I mean, that thing where they put just on that video and saying about QAnon, where that wasn't even mentioned on that video. That was
I never mentioned anything to do with QAnon,
no.
and they're starting to stick these things all over my videos.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just to be
They
misleading.
do it to other channels too.
Yeah.
That don't talk about it, and I see they get a QAnon banner or whatever too.
Well, what we've done just today is I've taken a copy of it and I've sent it into YouTube, and I've said, "You're mad."
Yes. They are mad.
And, you know, as far as I can see, the places that are reinforcing it are places like YouTube and Facebook are the people that are reinforcing the virus.
Mm.
Yes.
Military-like YouTube is like, we are the police now. We are in control and you're not allowed to do any of this. Like, what? They're a platform. They have no jurisdiction to make so many rules over this platform like that. They've gone mad.
That's right. They have gone mad.
They stay away from that and let the people talk. That's why it was called YouTube. Now they're like police. And these bots and that are doing things all the time and striking you over the most ridiculous things.
It's pretty clear that it's been dictated to by the income and revenue from advertisers, because at most videos now you don't get one advert, you get two at the start.
Cool, Amy, yeah. I've not been on a paid channel for a while, I told you about, since September. But now, when you get to a video, I mean, I showed James one earlier on, I said, look, the ads are in that. Mm. They're able to stick ads all over it. Like, I thought YouTube, we were getting away from the media. Now it's part of it.
Yeah, very much so.
That's right. Yeah.
Very much so.
YouTube is the king.
Yes.
Not.
Right.
Well, I think Facebook is more the king when it comes to censorship.
I think what they don't realise is that even though I'm on YouTube, I've gone somewhere else now. That's what it's made me do. And it'll have made loads of other people do the same things. You might stick your videos up on YouTube, but now you're looking for alternative places. So if they block you, you're always on somewhere else. And it serves YouTube's right, because this is what they did with eBay. Before eBay took over everything, Yahoo had a selling site. Then they bought that up. They bought that one up. So there's nowhere else to go, really. I know there's Etsy and there's a few other places, but basically it's just eBay, because they bought everything out. Yes. And that's kind of what's happened, even if it's not quite buying everything out. It's kind of what's happened with YouTube.
Right. Exactly.
You need to kick up the bum. No, I don't know. I'm just a bit fed up with it really being persecuted like they do. I'm just a simple little person in a little room in my house, and they're treating me as if I'm something else.
Well,
that's right.
Take it as a compliment that if they're that worried and see you as a threat, then that's actually a compliment. Because
I don't see it that way, James, but that's what people say.
No, but it's the way to look at it. Don't let them get under your skin, because that's what it's all designed to do.
Well, because it's horrible. You know, we just want to get on with. You know, when I got the strike, I'd actually changed the subject, and when that video went out about RT News, we weren't even in a lockdown, so they turned it all around and made it something it's not.
Exactly, that's what they do.
You told me Hard News got a strike today.
Yes, for one of her videos, and so she won't be able to upload to that one channel. She has several backup channels, and till February 20th. I'm not sure what her video was that she got the strike for.
Because you know what? In the end, people will be leaving YouTube in droves.
They will. I
mean, everybody's telling me that's happening, and that their viewing has gone down a lot. I mean, I have seen it, but I thought YouTube were doing it, because they've done it to the people that do all the videos about narcissism. You know, you get to a year ago and they've got like 200,000 views, and you go there today and they're picking up 6,000, 7,000. It's not 25,000 or 50,000, then it gets to 100,000. So I thought that they'd done it, but maybe what it is people are just not watching the videos anymore. Because they're going other places.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then with
That's
all that
right.
advertising, so much advertising in YouTube, it's going to mess things up, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, they're sort of being dictated to by what the advertisers want, because that's why I wouldn't monetize my channel, because the last thing I want is an advert preceding my video for something I don't agree with.
I know.
Yeah, it should be. They shouldn't be worried. So say they don't really like your channel, but you can want to put ads on there. You should have a list of people that don't mind, and then the next level and the next level. And so basically, if they, they could give you the latter advertising. No, it's all, they're just crazy.
I know.
It's all crazy.
What's that, Karen?
It's all crazy.
It's all crazy. I know. Her video that they struck was called Vid Operation Mistrust. It was from January 21st.
And what I don't understand why they keep doing it to her is all she's doing is reading the news. You go to the news channels, they get 250,000. They get paid.
Right.
They can be doing live streams. Oh, but Hard News gets a strike for it.
Yup.
She does put her twist on it, though, doesn't she, Amy?
Thing is,
what's that?
She puts her twist on it. Maybe that's it.
She does. She does put her little opinion. She reads the top 10 headlines, and she will give you what she thinks about it. She don't hold back. She's a feisty person. She don't take any. She's not going to take anything off of anybody, and she's not going to go along with their narratives. So it keeps going. She's got one channel in BitChute, and then she's got like 4 channels on YouTube, but they're always striking at least one of them at some point.
This is obviously to do with money, isn't it? Why is Facebook doing this? It's to do with money.
Oh, I would feel sure. It usually always goes back to the money.
Well,
anything.
I would say that the origins of the internet seem to be a US military thing, and I think well, it's reflected in the fact that data is a huge industry, and it's sort of we give with one hand and take away with the other. So it's let's get everybody talking to each other on social media, and we can just collect data on everybody.
Yes, that's a good point.
Yeah, I mean, you never get a straight answer out of any of these organisations, these social media. It's like, well, why have you done that? And the answer is because we can, because it is their platform. You have to agree to their terms and conditions, which increasingly you're getting updates and new terms and conditions being added in all the time.
I think because that's the weird thing. You could join it today, your video's fine, and in 6 months they'll change the law, and then it's up to you to make sure all your channels changed and up to date. You might not have even noticed the changes. I just think it's been on there. We're changing it today, as from today.
That's
how it should be, not as from 6 months ago when everything was different then.
That's like saying in the United States it's now illegal to have firearms, and we're backdated to 1800, and we're fine everybody that's carried a gun for the last 200 odd years.
Right.
It's just so ridiculous, the whole thing.
There you go. The Guardian asking for money then. Why is everybody? BitChute's asking for money. The Guardian's asking for money.
Well,
the money.
Perhaps adrenochrome is in short supply and costs more.
Yes.
It's just pure
Do you think
greed.
we should finish this one in a minute?
Yeah, it's just pure greed on their part.
I'd really love to think that some good would come from this ban from Australia. You know, like people will start standing up, but probably something else is going on.
Unfortunately, until it personally
this is all part of the game.
Until it personally affects the family units, most people seem to be so desensitised, and they're too afraid to actually do anything.
That's right.
Well, it's been shown over and over again. Any doctors or nurses that have got any morals get struck off or threatened with they lose their job if they say anything. So they're stuck in between the devil and the deep blue sea. It's like, well, they've got families to support. They whilst they might want to speak out, they can't, because it's like they're going to lose their income.
Do you know, I put a brilliant film up about that. What it was is, somebody starts shouting outside their upsets about things, and then suddenly a window opens and it goes, I believe in it too, down with all this, and then suddenly all the people start opening their windows up and they're all screaming, they say, oh, to get rid of them. YouTube took the volume off.
Oh, they would.
They took the volume off.
Oh.
It was a few years ago, that one. I thought it was such a good video in this film when they were doing that.
Well, they're
okay.
using the same tactics as the BBC, the bastions of free speech, not.
Oh, yes.
So a quick roundup then. Australia cannot go onto YouTube. I'll have to ask Trouble tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yes.
She'd have been the perfect person to have had on the Hangout, wouldn't she, really?
Yes.
Sorry, Jillian.
I would.
I know.
What I try and do, if I do see anything, I try and ask 3 people, if I know of 3 people that I'm friends with on Facebook, and say, is this true? We've got this story coming out here. I mean, all those Paris riots, I didn't know anybody in France that had witnessed it to say whether that was genuine or not.
You know the riots last year or the year before? The only thing I saw was the police officers taking everything. That's what I saw, a video with them taking everything, or the guards taking everything.
This whole movement with the yellow vests, I mean, I looked at the footage and it's like, those yellow vests all seem to come from one supplier. It's like almost like a uniform. But
Right.
I thought, what a wonderful idea. We'll have all these protests, and then they smash shops up, and they're obviously small businesses aren't going to recover from that, or they won't get insurance. But the corporate shops, there's no problem for them. So all that's happened out of that is it's just a further assault on independent traders. It's forcing people into. You'll end up where you'll only have a shall we say, a state-owned supermarket, and it's buy that or nothing. There will be no choice.
Well, there is no choice. We don't have a choice because we've got no one to write to, no one to go to. There is no choice.
I mean, in the UK, if you've got, say, something like Nescafe changes the shape of its coffee jar and the colour of the plastic lid, you watch the way all the supermarket brands have identical size jars, same colour lids, and it's just different labels. And it just varies in price for exactly the same product.
Yeah.
Oh, Jillian did write me a message. Depends whether she's gone to. She might have gone to bed though. Oh damn! Hang on, she's written something. Let's see. I'm just seeing. I don't know what that was. Oh, she was talking about the. It looks like everybody thinks that America is the most important country in the world, and it's not. I'm going to see if I can call her on here, because I always have to end it. I'm just see if she answers. I'm just calling Jillian, but she might not answer.
Yeah.
Because it's quite late.
Well, I don't go with this division by nations, because I mean, I'm sorry, but I've
she's there. Hey Jillian, we were doing a hangout right now, but then we thought, oh God, you're the person that we need on here. Jillian, have you seen we want to ask you, have you seen the headlines today?
Probably not.
What it is Australia, they've banned Australia from Facebook.
Oh, yes.
What do you make of that? Oh, sorry, I'm here with Amy. Amy, say hello.
Hi, Jillian. How are you?
Hey, Amy. I'm good.
Hey, Jillian.
I'll turn Jillian up a bit. That's it. Right, go for it. And I've got James here, obviously.
Hi.
What's your take on being banned from Facebook? Does it mean that you can't go on Facebook, or just the companies?
No, it's just the news channels, the news outlets.
Right.
Being banned from Facebook because the government wants Facebook to pay for the news information. so that the reporters can still, you know, earn money and all that sort of, and their news media outlets can still operate. Whereas Zuckerberg's saying that Facebook is not a media outlet; it's just a social meeting place, and therefore he shouldn't have to pay for news content. But then on the other hand, he's turned around and said, should they remove, you know, should he be banned from, like, the news content taken off, or should he be forced to pay for the news content that goes onto Facebook? That then his model would be unworkable. That, you know, Facebook wouldn't work, but they only like 2 or 3% of their income comes from these news media. You know, I don't know. It's confusing. I'm not explaining it very well, but it's just it's a load of bullshit. I think it's just a way for them to go to introduce new laws to control social media.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah,
And eventually Facebook is going to lose because Google's going to take over the lot, and they're going to be the ones making the money.
Which we don't really want. We want an independent person who's sticking up for the people.
Not going to happen in the system.
Yeah, well, we're not going to get that with these big companies. That's
No.
what they're there for. They don't make stuff for the betterment of mankind. They make it so they can make a profit or get greater control. Beginning to learn. It's pretty black and white, really, now, the world.
Well, sometimes when you see these headlines, you like to think that they're there because things are changing, but they're not, are they? They're just getting worse.
Right.
Well, they want them to, yes. But at the same time, you know, lots of people, for lack of better words, waking up, you know, in their own areas. Things are happening in their own professions that they can see is not right. Things are affecting them.
Well, we are being all affected, aren't we?
Yes.
Well, we're thumbs down from me anyway.
Me
James?
too.
Amy, what about you, Jillian? Thumbs down from you? It's all just crazy, isn't it? What about you, James? Thumbs down for it all?
Well, it's just more theatre, isn't it? Really.
Yeah.
I just think it's just crazy. I mean, just like me and James were looking at spitforts today. They're these round things in the sea. They're saying they were built in the 1800s, but they look like they were built earlier, and then they've adapted them. And then they were closed down in the 1950s, became museums, and then 2 of them are hotels. But they must have been on the edge of land, and you've got all this weird stuff like, what are we living in? What is all this? And actually, you've got all this extra crap.
Yes.
And none of it's real. Well,
Right.
is it?
Well, the whole story with those spit forts when they were built doesn't make sense, because the only conflict the United Kingdom was involved in was the Crimean War in 1865. There wasn't a need to build them, and then they're obsolete as soon as they're built. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, they said they were obsolete. And then when you go to any spitfort or any fort, the people talking will go, it was built in 1865. And you think, oh my God, that's the same as the spitforts. Everything's obviously got a date, 1865.
Right.
Well, it's just a load of rubbish, because it's obviously built before when there was land, and they're lying about the land, they're lying about Doggerland, they're lying about everything.
Yes.
Maybe what it is there's this big dragon that comes down with all the water.
Who knows?
They've just forgotten to tell us about the dragon.
Well,
Yes.
I don't know.
I know.
So what's Australia... are you looking at any of the news, Jillian? What is Australia making of all this? They just think it's fun, do they? Because I would say that, sometimes people use videos and they don't go to English Sky. They often use Australian Sky because they just say what they've got to say. I don't know. Australia do look like the news often look like they're pointing things out. Do you think they're having a go at them or something, or you really think it's just so that they can change the laws and make media even harder for us to be on?
Yes, yeah. control both sides. Whilst it does look like one side are being the good guys, like Skies, exposing this, that. They're also not exposing a lot of things, like all the vaccine bullshit. They still,
Well, yeah, you're not allowed to say anything against that, Jillian, or you get strikes, or it's called medical misinformation. Well, anyway, we'll just have to stop there because you're not even allowed to mention any of that stuff.
Sky do it. They can, so they're not hitting that topic. They're not hitting much of the pedophilia.
You mean they're not really going for the truth? We've just got this pity-patty, ridiculous stuff on the side.
It's all about. I was going to say it's all about creating order out of chaos, but they've got to create the chaos first. Which they're doing a very good job.
Both sides have abandoned the people. Both sides of politics have abandoned the people. They're both working together. Big business and Labor, they're working together. Liberal and Labor, they're not supposed to.
No.
But they're both sold out the people.
Yes.
We're just collateral, though, aren't we? They don't care about us.
That's why all the big companies have a thing called human resources, because that's what you class as. You're a resource.
Oh, yes.
Mm.
That's right.
The extremes on both sides, left and right, are just as bad as each other. In fact, they're exactly the same when you start to pull them apart.
But that famous...
So when you go to extremes, no side's better than the other.
That famous saying about there's a left wing and a right wing and it's of the same monster.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's all a beast.
Yeah.
That is.
Whatever it is, it comes from the beast.
Yes.
It's all beast stuff.
That's for sure.
Beast, beast, beast.
Yes.
Sorry, Jane thought that was funny. Oh, anyway, so how's Australia doing today while we've got Jillian here?
Victoria came out of lockdown, so I don't think anyone's in lockdown in Australia anymore.
Well, we're still in full lockdown.
Yep.
What the hell's that when we're in full lockdown?
Yeah.
We haven't destroyed all the private businesses yet. We've got to stay closed for another couple of months yet.
Right.
Well, they're going to do to you what they did to us without telling you. They're not going for reduction, they're going for 0 cases, which is ridiculous. Especially in a country with the amount of people you guys have got. Getting it down to 0 cases, that's how deluded they all are.
A lot of the public believe what they're listening to on the television. They do believe that we're in a planet, because I did it with the vets today. We're in a planet. I was going, well, you know what I'm going to say. And then I couldn't just get my dog's nails clipped. I had to go for a consultation, which was going to cost me 40 quid. I said, I know what's the matter. I just need her nails clipped. Well, we don't do that because of the pandemic. So it's about making more money.
Of course. Always.
Yeah.
That's stupid. There's no reason for that.
Well, yeah, everybody, America's coming out. Australia is, but we're in full lockdown.
Yeah, you guys know Boris Yeltsin. I just watched a video about him yesterday. Like, he's gone totally socialist, which is not what his party is. And I don't know.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, well, look at all the shit that he's doing. It's his girlfriend, one of the videos I watched. He's got this girlfriend who's a full-on cancel culture. And it seems like totally... Because the mother of his baby, because he's just had a baby, yeah. You should watch the videos about her. She's fucking an extremist.
Wow.
And now Boris is coming out with the same shit. But it's all bullshit anyway. We also watched a video the other day about how pretty much most of Trump's administration, or the guys around him, like his team, are they're all pedophiles. They've all been charged, convicted.
Well, the show must go on.
Yes.
Just as much a pedophile and part of the swamp as anyone else. he was never going to clean out the swamp because he is the swamp. He's a billionaire. What were people thinking?
Because he was the head. He has businesses, and he was running the corporation. So he was just the head of the corporation.
Oh, he's just an actor. They get actors to go. How many actors and politicians have we had?
Yeah, he definitely is an actor. Remember his WWF?
Yes.
Oh God, have you seen the one where he's with Julie Bruniani and Bruniani's dressed up as a woman, and they're doing this skit in this friggin' a motel? No, they're in a Manchester store. But Bruniani's dressed up as a woman. There's heaps.
Oh, I didn't see it. Yeah.
Oh, and
Oh, wow.
Trump rubs his face in his chest, in his fake bosom. Oh my God, yeah, he should.
Yeah, and then he became the president.
Yeah.
We want some real people, don't we, running us?
Yes.
Don't want anybody running.
Well, we don't need anybody running us, but if they're going to put
Right.
people in, why can't we have real people?
Exactly.
That never happened.
Falling for this Q-tard stuff. It's like, what the hell's wrong with you guys?
Yeah, and also, Jillian, they keep putting on my videos that I put one out about singers can't sing, and it's got this big thing on there about Q. I didn't even mention that.
Well, the clue's in the name, QAnon. I mean, it's anonymous, so you don't know who it is, and you're going to be queuing for a very, very long time.
Yes.
That's true. They are queuing forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you've got this, I forget I think, was it Simon Parks? Oh, no, it wasn't Q I was talking to. It was Golden Q. So
Oh my God, that's Simon Parks. Those crew, you know, one of them thinks that he's the son of an alien. His mother is a 8 foot tall alien. It comes from another planet.
Well,
And
no
these
comment.
guys are your leading, research. What the hell is going on?
I don't know. I think they think we're mad. Well, they're
Yeah,
turning
that's-
everybody mad, aren't they?
Yes.
Have you got friends that are into legalese and common law and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah,
All
David.
those people still believe Trump is president.
I know.
Oh.
It's like, so they've gone from being a really awoke part of the community, or supposedly, because they know all the history to law and common law and all this sort of stuff. But they're the ones following the Q-tard stuff and still saying, no, Trump's still president. You just wait. You just got to wait another 2 weeks.
Well, I have to say that I sent some stuff to Aaron. I only ever supported Aaron, and Aaron had the Lumen project, which I thought that he'd have had it ready. Been waiting now for about 4 or 5, 6 years for it, and he's always nearly finished. And when I sent him something that was going against Q, he asked me if I was all right and all that crap, and I didn't like all that. I've never, ever talked to him like that. So I can't be bothered. And I thought, why the hell do we want you when you think that Trump's a good president and Q should be in? I thought we were voting, if you were bringing up the Lumen project, that we were going to be looking at something different. So I've steered away from that now. I've been waiting now for years. Nothing's happened. All I did was support this person. And they think I'm mad. I think they're mad for believing in Q.
Me too.
Especially as we already had one of those called the White Knight, or White, whatever they were called. Remember, we did
white
that.
hats,
White dove.
White Dove, that's it. We did a hangout about that. There was a White Dove in the 70s. 70s?
Yeah. Yes,
Yeah,
in
when
the
they took something
70s.
gold stuff.
So we've already had a Q. It just wasn't. It was called White Dove rather than Q.
Yep.
It was either America or England. I'm not sure which country.
America.
But
What's the difference?
And then they found them. It was a woman in a camper van with her boyfriend, and dodgy things were happening, and they needed money, so they did it.
But what they've done was they looked into a lot of information that was true. So, and it was in the public domain, so they weren't really dropping information that wasn't known or couldn't be found. But
Right.
same as the QAnon today, it makes them look authentic.
Really, all they did was plant all this stuff and then earn some money.
All it did was stop people who were going to complain and try to stop this shit from happening, from doing anything. So they just thought, oh, well, you know, QAnon's going to come along and save us. You know,
Well, they are.
Trump's gonna
Whatever
save-
it is, it isn't. Amy, do you think Q's going to save you?
No.
James, do you
No
think Q's
way.
going to save everybody?
No.
Gillian?
No, God, no.
Neither do I. I never got into
I
Q.
think the opposite.
Me
I think
neither.
they're going to get everyone into more trouble.
Well, they'd
It's
love
a
that,
setup.
wouldn't they? Well, it's just another level that they take people on, and people get into it, and it's that, you know, when they make you believe things that aren't real, takes your freedom away. They don't care. It's always taking your freedom away.
Right.
They don't care.
No.
The thing with Trump, I mean,
No, because in the old days, if you're going to be a ruler, you had to be just and fair, or the people would take you out.
well, I think just ask those affected by that pipeline, which was under Trump's presidency, as to the actions there say it all, I think.
Well, it's a bit of both, because I also knew a lot of people who were protesting against the pipeline in the first place, especially the native people of the land. So, 50-50 on... There's a fine line between industry and nature and people's rights. Because, I mean, if you're not allowed to put a road across the country, how do you get from one side to the other?
Yeah, true.
If one person said, no, sorry, I've fucking got a paddock here with cows in it, you can't have a road through here, you'll have to go around. And everybody next to him goes, no, 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 no roads are going to go through. I don't know how you solve these kind of bigger issues. I don't think any party, one side's going to lose out. Always.
Yeah.
Yes.
I just think it's really strange. On top of this, Australia and America are not in any lockdown, but we're in a full lockdown still.
I know.
Well, you can't play the same tactics in every country exactly the same, otherwise it would be too obvious. So
this is why,
look at the
you know, like
citizens.
Claudio does those things when he says that we're going to be in this till 2024. If Trouble's right and we've always got to be at 0, which we won't be because people get colds, have heart attacks and all that stuff and die. So what does that mean? That no one can die now for the next 4 years because they're all going to be called the same thing. So no one can die now because they're going to be called that. So that's just ridiculous. So we're never going to be out of it, are we? We're always going to be in it.
Yup.
No, that's what people need to realise, and all the people that are for this shit, they need to realise this isn't going to end. They've got this plan for, what, till 24, so another 2 years of this.
3.
Yeah.
Because we're only 21. We've got 22, 23 and 24.
Whatever it takes to crash it all. Whatever it takes to you know, I mean, you can't change the system in the world, I wouldn't think, overnight, so it's going to take a couple of years.
Yeah.
Yeah, but the system's changing. I still don't think it's changing for the better. I think it's still bad. You know, like, I sent you that video. You said, what is that video? It was Pelosi talking. Someone, I think, slowed her down. But she's saying the most ridiculous things. She's saying poo and stuff like that about Trump. And you think, and this person says, that's what's running your country. So I don't see anything's getting better. You know, like, when you actually think how Trump talked, I don't miss him because he said stupid things. And, you know, when you listen to Pelosi, it's the same thing. You think, you just want some real people in there, don't you? You just want real people.
Well, if you want a bit of hope, I don't think that they have the technology yet that they need to fully control everything.
No.
Thank God.
So,
yes,
they're still
thank
walking a
God.
very fine line. I think they fake a lot of things. I think...
Yeah, like, we're going to war when there isn't one.
Right.
But the world, oh, that's it, you know. Or they threaten it. They keep
Like
threatening that we're
lie
going to go to war.
detectors, you know, like lie detector tests work, but you can't use them in a court of law. Why can't you use them in a court of law? Because they're unreliable, which means what? They don't really work. That's what I mean. They're claiming a lot of science that they have, and they're having to backstep. So, you know, if you've watched a lot of court cases that they put on telly, that, you know, and they'll show the when they get DNA, and when you get DNA and two people are mixed together, you can't really separate it. That's that was something they used for a long time, but now it's proving not to be true. Or say the other one, where you've got a bite mark on somebody's bitten an arm, and then they want to take that bite mark off the dead body and match it to the bite mark of a living person and then convict them on it. Well, they did that for quite a few years, but now it's all been overthrown because it's bullshit science. So that's what I kind of think. I think there's still a lot of that going on, where we think they've got all this amazing technology in it.
Is Babylon crashing?
I spotted that the other day, some video, but I didn't watch it, and I thought, well, America was made before Israel, and so if America is the new Babylon, why is it older than Israel? Do you know what I mean? How could it have switched from Israel to Babylon Israel to America when Israel wasn't even made when America was? So,
and also, do you know what Israel is real?
That's right.
Well, it can also be sort of it's a question, Israel. It's sort of implying the if you sort of think of it in like you've got the devil on one shoulder and the angel on the other, it's the devil is masquerading as the angel. It's all to keep you in confusion, so you don't know which way to turn, but it's sort of sticking on that fine line and seeing both sides of the coin with all of this.
Yes.
I like the way I like to think of it is like the yin and yang symbol. You're walking that fine line. It's hidden by the dark side, but there's a definite line that goes between the black and the white, and it's a narrow path that we walk individually.
Yes.
So it's sort of seeing that they're playing two sides always, and this sort of headline with the Guardian is turning on Facebook when it gives the illusion that they're being good when it like Jillian said, and they're not. It's just more theatre on the public.
That's right.
You know, like trying to impeach Trump when he's a civilian and it can't work.
Wow, it's all.
Well, I think the point of that might be so that he can't run for president again.
No, they've dropped all the charges because he's a civilian now, so it won't work because he's a civilian.
Well, it's like any soap. You
can only impeach a president.
It's like any soap opera.
The thing is, what they're impeaching him for is what he did when he was president. So just because he managed to leave the room...
No, I think they can't impeach him anymore. He's a civilian. You can only do it when he's president. But I mean, it's just such a farce.
Well, if that was true, they wouldn't have impeached him.
Yes, but they had to bring it in because don't forget, most people thought that Trump would come back and save the day again and would run America, and it didn't happen. And so the more pressure they put on, and now we're going to impeach him. Imagine how many people went, "Oh my God, no!"
Well, you know what these...
Again, I think it's just a ruse to keep it all happening. Like, Trump's going to get out. He was never going to get out because they don't have the votes, apparently, in Congress or whatever, to get him.
Well, he's won a few things lately. Who was telling us that? Was it Amy? No, someone told us the other. He's won a few things now, and so he's not going to be. You said he's not going to be starting a new party. He's just going to be taking over the old one again.
Well, it's like.
But what I meant was they didn't have the numbers to find him guilty, so it was always a show to keep the show going.
This is it. It's like any soap opera. You got to end on a cliffhanger ending to tune in for the next episode.
And you need to give hopium to both sides.
Yeah.
So Trump team got a bit of hopium. Now the opposition team are getting a bit of hopium by keeping him out of politics forever. Well, that's not going to quite work. So now the Trump team's got a bit more hopium because Trump's going to run again, and it just keeps it going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When all the Q supporters should abandon it would collapse.
Well, the whole Q thing was we'll tell you the things you want to hear, so you think, oh, we've got somebody that's the good guys, but it never happens.
No,
There
it's
isn't
true.
many. There isn't really any good guys left anymore. Not above us.
No.
It's just the people.
That's
And
right.
this lot are, I don't even know the
I
words
got
to
told
describe
today by someone in the chat room, Jillian, that Google Hangouts are going in March. And you think, why?
Because they can.
Yeah, they just love doing this to the people.
It's their rules. They can do what they
It's
want.
all sexual
StreamYard. So you have to go to
deviance.
StreamYard instead or somewhere else or record it like this.
What people don't realise that most these guys are all sexual deviants. It doesn't matter what country they're in. You have a look at all these kings, queens, rulers. How many women they're friggin' fucking.
Or men or whichever way round it is. Oh. I've never been more disgusted. Even if you're just a simple person, you go to the internet and you start finding other stuff. It's always shoved out there. It may not be shoved in your face, but even remember you were looking at stuff and I said, yeah, but it's a different story. So this article says this article says that. It's just, anyway.
Yeah.
Yes.
I hate what it's done to the people.
Well.
Me too.
It's just turned a lot of us against each other, and that is just so sad.
It is.
Families
And it's
against
what they want.
families, friends against friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Those that don't watch the television live one kind of life, and those that watch it live another kind of life.
Right.
It's like living through Sleeping Beauty, and the whole castle is asleep, but they're slowly starting to wake up. And so you've got one heap of people walking around in one reality, and a heap of people still walking around in the old reality.
Yes.
Well, I think a lot of people believe the horrors.
They do.
Absolutely. But a lot of people don't, as well. A lot more than
That is true.
they want.
This is what I said to James earlier on. I just want an island. My own island. Those that want to live with us can be fine on the island. I just don't want to be a part of this thing anymore.
Oh, me neither. I want to come to the island.
Maybe I should buy one of those star forts and we can all go live. The spit fort. We can go live on there. We can get our own electricity. We just go to the mainland to get our food, and that's it.
That's going to be the problem with going to the mainland, though, isn't it?
It's the pirates. The pirates are coming in.
That's right.
If I said, look, I bought a spit fort and you can come and live with me, and I'll come over. Anyway, we started this talk. We started this talk today because it was about Australia. Because we thought, wow, it just looks one way, but we've decided it's probably the other.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, because in the beginning I thought...
Amy, what are you doing?
Sorry. You'll have to cut that part out. I'm sorry.
No, it's all right. We'll leave it in.
I'm so clumsy.
Amy's fallen down the stairs. Amy!
I knocked something over. Sorry about that. You had to cut it out.
It's all right, Amy.
Don't fall downstairs. The last thing you want to do is be going to hospital at the moment.
Yeah. Don't want to go there either, do you? Who wants to go there?
I know, right?
You would look at them and go, you're not friends, you're my enemies.
That's right.
Well, we've been talking now for about an hour, and I know Jillian hasn't been on here very long, but it's good to hear her point of view. I'm so glad that she picked the phone up, because it's quite... it's lunchtime, isn't it, for you? Because it's midnight, it's after midnight for us. But maybe James, a few words from James, a few words from Trouble, and a few words from Amy. Go on, James. We'll let you go first.
Thing is, they keep talking about a mandatory test, and that's what it is. It's a test of your inner strength to not fall for all this negative fear, because it does alter your serotonin and melatonin and adrenaline levels, causes chemical changes in the body, which is not in your best interests. It is a case of wherever the attention goes, the energy flows. So it's just
So what you're saying is keep calm.
Yeah, see all take it all with a pinch of salt. That all these headlines and things, It's just to desensitize people so they just don't care.
It's
about what
horrible, isn't
happens.
it? We are humans with feelings, and all they want to do is desensitize us.
Yep.
I know.
And lie to us.
Yep.
Is that your words, James?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Jillian?
Well, everybody's in a different position. For me, it's I'm just going to be at the end of the line. I'm just not rushing out to go get, I don't want to use the words, the needle, jab, what do you want to call it? But I don't know about people who work in that profession, if they're going to have to stand up and quit, or just get it and hope you're immune, so that you're healthy enough that you can handle it. I don't know. I really don't know. Everyone's going to have to make up their own minds based on what information they've got.
Thanks, Jillian. Well,
I did hear that a lot of I don't know what country it was, but they gave all the elderly the injection, and 15 of them died within 24 hours. And the reason they were given, they said, well, wasn't the injection, it's because the people's bodies are rejecting it. So they're also changing the words. So once upon a time, when you had a reaction to an injection, it's because you had it, there was something wrong with the injection. But now, if you have a reaction, there's something wrong with your body that you reacted to it. That's how they're wording it all. And yeah, I don't like the fact that they've rushed it all in without the usual 4-year waiting testing stuff, and I personally don't like the ingredients that it's made out of. That's me.
Right.
We can't say too much, Jillian. Jillian, we can't say that much.
No, but there is going to come a point, maybe. I don't know if it's going to get this far, really, because there's that many people on the planet. How do you vaccinate 7 billion people in 1 year? I don't know. So the logistics of it all just sounds a bit. I don't know. I think they're just going to keep the world shut down.
Yeah.
For the vaccination, because you won't be allowed to travel overseas, and that'll be okay for those of us that don't travel overseas anyway. But eventually, I guess they'll spread it out to the community where you have to have a vaccine passport. I was even telling my dad about it. You might have to have, the bit of paper to show you've been vaccinated to even go into a restaurant. And he seemed to think that was okay. And I don't know what words to use.
It just sounds like we're at war.
Yeah.
No, it's like the Hitler Nazi days. Or I don't even know the history well enough to know what country that we used to have papers to get around. Any cop could pull you over and you'd have to show your papers. We don't want that kind of world. That didn't work last time.
No.
And the really sad bit is they've already done it before and they're doing it again.
Yes.
And the countries, like apparently Europe, the countries that have had this happen to them before, they're really standing up against it. But it's countries like America Australia's never been to war. I don't know why England's rolling, England is, you guys are known to have protests and things, which you have been doing. There's bugger all happening in Australia. They're just rolling over here mostly.
I don't know what to say to that, but yeah. Yes, Jillian. We have to be careful what we say all the time.
Oh, I know.
We have to just put it out in code.
It's ridiculous. Because that's the one thing that our countries are supposed to have is freedom of speech.
But we don't.
When you're not inciting anything, you're just shouting your opinion.
We don't have the same laws as America. Our laws are different. If you're going to use laws, well then, what I think is that what people don't realise is that something like YouTube, when you join it, wherever it was made, whether it was made in America, the UK, Europe, or Canada, that is the law. It's where the business was made. That is the law that carries through.
That's what this fight with Facebook is over in Australia. It's like, no, it's your product, but if you're going to bring it into Australia, you're going to abide by our laws.
Yeah, but why do it now? Facebook's been going for years. You can't just suddenly change it. Oh, we don't like it now, so we're going to change everything.
Well, that's their terms and conditions. That's
Yeah, that
exactly what they
Zuckerberg
do.
are brought in, and you know that he was lying. You knew he was lying, and now they're going to get away with this.
Yes.
Facebook is using their content and not paying for it. Whereas, you know, if a newspaper wants to print the content, they pay for it. So that's what the arguments are. It's sending. We know they're trying to save the media, the mainstream media. They're in free fall. They didn't jump onto the digital bandwagon early enough, and they're just desperately trying to keep a foot in the door. And I imagine the Australian government wants to keep some kind of control, like be a middleman between them. Otherwise, it is all run by America. So
Well, Australia is run by America because all the actors that play in America on YouTube and all that, they're all playing news reporters and that in Australia. It's the same people, isn't it, Amy?
That's right.
And the other thing is, Facebook is failing. No, the young generation don't use Facebook at all.
Yeah, you said your daughter doesn't use it.
No, my daughter says to me, that's an old people app. I don't use that. I don't know what the hell they're on. Stuff that I need to work out what they're on so I can follow whatever the news is that, I don't know.
Well, it serves them right anyway. Jillian, have you finished really then?
Yes, that was my rant.
Yeah, thanks for that one. Amy, what's your outlook now with Facebook, The Guardian, showing all the stuff, and Jillian and James's thoughts? What's your thoughts?
Yeah. I just agree with them, both James and Jillian, and I just think it's terrible. I was just telling my sister today, I said, who would have thought, 4 years ago when we had President Trump, and he was telling us he was going to make America great again, and we were going to have all this freedom, and we were going to always win and all this, and now 4 years later, we're sitting around where many of us are in lockdowns. We're worried that we're going to be forced to take a virus, and we've done a 180. It's like a mockery of what Trump was saying. Oh, I'm going to make America great again, and feels like.
Doesn't Biden say that as well? So it's the same thing. We'll just get the same thing from the next one, and it'll never be any better. And in fact, actually, everything's getting worse.
It's getting worse. That's right.
I just wish a big glitch would happen with one of them on there, and it was so big that people couldn't mistake it, and everybody knew what was going on, and they realised it was all fake. Like a big hole button in the television or something.
I know.
Or the screen came down. Whoops! Those are the people behind the puppets. They were puppets.
Right. Oh, I would love that.
Wake up a little bit. The people are waking them. Like they didn't realise, the Great Reset. They have not heard anything about it. Thought it was a conspiracy, and now it's being mentioned all around the world. And so now everybody's giving them the truth of what the Great Reset is. And so some of them are not going to use these words. Build back better, because they understand that it's this cabal group of billionaires trying to restructure the world how they want it to be.
Yes.
Can you just imagine the lies that they've told us, though, to get here, and the more lies they're going to have to say? Is it because they can't use nuclear power anymore? Is that what it is? They can't use all these things anymore because they're not real.
The bigger, richer guys are starting to realise that. So the Chinese guy that had his company taken off him. It's like Amazon, but it's not. It's a Chinese one. Huawei. So he just got into heaps of trouble and has lost a lot of his money and power because he was getting too big and independent. And if this system, this social crediting system thing comes in, this will happen to our millionaires and big entrepreneurs around the country. So I think these guys are starting to wake up and realise that they're in a lot of trouble.
Yes.
We're already the poor people, but they're taking the middle class out and the upper middle class. But they're the runners of these businesses. So if they finally wake up, then so will all their employees. And I don't think there's a good
I suppose if you
battle
keep
going
the
on.
people poor,
I
though,
don't think it's over yet.
if you keep the people poor, you keep them in a certain place, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
they're making people even poorer than they already were. So it's not like you can hide it.
No.
And even if you're in the mindset where there is a virus, this is not the best response to it. This response is dreadful.
I can't believe. Well, they did say that some of the Tories were standing up to this. I can't believe other people haven't stood up and said, this isn't right. Well, anyway, you know what I'm going to. I just can't believe that hasn't happened.
Well, the thing is, most of the people in those power are either corrupt or they're being blackmailed or bribed. So they've gone along with the whole thing, not even knowing the big plan and what it means. Only now is it becoming obvious, and they're learning that they're a part of this more sinister plan to take over the world sort of thing. Most of them don't even know that they were. They just know that they got compromised, somebody rang up and they owed a favour, and they had to do something or vote some way that they wouldn't normally do. So there's a lot of videos out about how corrupt, you can tell people have been corrupted, especially politicians.
The whole world's been corrupted.
It has.
But anyway, listen, what it isn't. Amy, have you finished saying what you're saying? Because we'll finish this and we'll talk afterwards. Because we'll probably talk even more and say even more. Huh?
Tired.
We're tired. Well, we'll finish soon anyway. But Amy, have you finished?
Yes, I finished.
Well, Amy, mwah. Jillian, mwah. James, mwah. Chat room, mwah. Anyway, big hugs to everybody, and so nothing's positive then.
Well, it is
No,
inside.
there's hope. There's hope. Don't give up hope.
No.
Hope. Okay. Hope, everybody. Anyway, thanks very much for the talk. Oh, my voice has gone all hoarse. My voice is back now. Anyway, thanks very much.